So, it's great to go to, train in California and with other, people are all great shape, and, you see pros and you see, people that are well known in the industry and stuff like that. But then you come to a place like this that's like a hole in the ground, and this place is just meant to do work. This is not for, bringing your phone down and doing a selfie and blah, 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 all that kind of shit. You come here to do work, and, the motivation has to come within. This is not like, oh, I see a guy where he looks really good. I want to be big as this guy. This is you. And there's a few other people here working here today. I mean, like a handful, probably less than 5 people here right now, training. And it's like this place is like lost in time kind of thing. It's like stuck in that time, which was such a great time where things have changed so much. And I can honestly say I don't think changed for the better, in my opinion. I think I kind of grew up because of my dad, looking at his old magazines and equipment and stuff. So I was kind of started off in that era, and there was no social media and all that kind of stuff. So I was kind of stuck in that, looking at the old Arnold magazines and stuff. So I was kind of like, that was what I wanted. And over the years, things have changed, and I try as much as I can to still stick to that same person. You know what I mean? I don't want to change just to win a competition, because why would be the point of winning something if I didn't look the way I want to look at the same time? You know what I mean? So I try to always go back to the roots, where I started. I started off in my basement, plastic weights and, shitty benches and stuff. And this kind of reminds me of that, in the basement, but this is actually a real gym. And and you look on the wall and you see the pictures and stuff, you can think about all the great bodybuilders that have trained here. And I even think in my head, I remember if I pick up something, I'm like, these guys have all touched the same dumbbells, and I'm, keeping this thing alive, that, the old school bodybuilding, the old school, the gyms, that have changed so much these days. Sometimes when you're rushed and you're in a hurry, or, you think you're gonna do a quick workout, they can end up being some of the best workouts. You probably not as heavy, but definitely your intensity is really up, working really hard. Well, pretty much before I came here, I trained every body part just so I feel big when I got here. So I was pretty sore from having that, but I think the change in weather definitely affected me. But I kind of woke up and I was like sore, achy all over kind of thing, and kind of didn't want to train, didn't really want to move. But once I got here and I started doing a couple sets, everything started to warm up and got better. By the end of the workout, I had a pretty good workout. I think I always try to do at least 2 variations of side laterals during my workout. There could be dumbbells, machines, cables. They're all good. I like to incorporate 2 in every workout just to hit it from different angles and stuff. But I really think the meat and potatoes of your shoulder workout are presses and laterals. So I could say usually in every workout I probably do 2 presses and 2 laterals, and everything else is just fine tuning stuff, rear delts and front delts and stuff like that. I've seen this type of machine before, and I would say it's 50 years old at least or more. And I remember my first gym that I ever really worked out at had one pretty similar to it, and one of my favorite exercises was the shoulder press it had on it, and I haven't seen that since I was maybe 21, so a while ago. And I'm in this gym. I could have done regular bar presses. I could have done dumbbell presses, Arnold presses, but I picked something different to, like you said, I'm not used to doing. I don't see very often. I think it's good to have variety in your workout and not always do the same workouts over. Just confuse the body. You know what I mean? And be surprised. Some of the old machines are way better than the new stuff these days. I could say, I don't really like training at the newer gyms that have all the brand new equipment. It's just not. I feel like I don't feel it as much. And I feel like a lot of the older equipment, I don't know, it just got a better feel to it when you do it. Today, you know, I honestly never have a plan when I go do a workout. I always go by, you know, just walk around what I see, what I feel. And I was just, you know, walk around the gym and I just, you know, saw that plate there, a really cool looking plate, and I picked it up and then just said, okay, I'll do front weights with this. You know, I've seen other people do it as well, obviously. And I started doing it. You know, first set was like, okay, this is kind of hard. And then towards the end, I started getting, you know, feeling, I was starting to wake up. Walking over towards to do the machine to do shrugs, and I've used this before. Actually, I've been in this gym before, and I use it for bench press. But you know, so I'll do shrugs on today. It's got a nice heavy stack. Wasn't planning on doing side rolls, and as I was walking over, I just was like, you know, just popped in my head, just to make it a little bit more challenging. And to do another variation of side lateral, so I did like the leaning, you know, leaning side lateral and superset with the shrugs, and you know, just to make it harder and push myself. You know, it's always been that way since day one. I mean, there's always a certain few exercises that you probably always throw in each body part, like, you know, but I always like to mix up variations of that exercise. And I've never like written down a program and say, "Hey, this is exactly what I have to do today. I have to do dumbbell presses. I have to do side lateral dumbbell raises." You know, I've never had a list. I always went by how I feel, and some days when I, you know, say if I did one exercise and I felt like I didn't give it my all, I feel like, okay, the next exercise to do, I'm gonna have to do something to torture myself to make up for being a little bit of a pussy in the last exercise. You know, like I said, I've done shoulder press before in the past, and you know, couldn't even do my regular weight, and I had to go lower weight. I'll get like kind of mad at myself, and the next exercise I'll like do, you know, crazy amount of reps, you know, triple drop sets and anything to, I feel like making up for the lack of strength or reps in the last exercise. By the end of the workout, I had a pretty good workout.